What's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm Taja,
And I'm Nate.
and you're listening to
Keep
Keep
it
It
rolling.
Rolling.
Okay, so how are you feeling today, Nate?
Yeah, well,
Well, Taja.
well, I'm feeling wonderful. It was a beautiful day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it.
I know that's right.
How about you, Nate, Taja?
I feel blessed.
Ah, that's good.
I was looking outside today and I was like, man, this weather is really destroying my plants and I have
Best weather ever.
no, like man, like I'm kind of sad about it. All that work I put into it back in July,
hmm
and then just for it to just go to waste, like
What is the purpose of gardening? I mean, other than picking your little fruits off for it and
little
vegetables.
fruits
I
off.
mean,
Oh, wow.
rephrase, other than picking fruits and vegetables off, I mean, what do you
hmm
do it for? Because I know it ain't just to eat. I mean, it's all stupid saying it, but I mean, you said
I think it's therapy. It's like a
exactly.
therapy. It's for you to be able to like you put so much work into something and you get to watch the outcome of it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like you get to see the fruits of your labor, and then also you get to watch what God created, you
Exactly.
know?
So
So for
knowing
you to
that,
do all this work and then
but
just
still,
die.
but knowing that you said and watch what God created, like you said, knowing you have no control over the
Yeah.
weather whatsoever, and it just happened to be a frost warning or freeze warning, whatever, and it just happened to freeze or yesterday, today, and tomorrow, whatever. So I mean, yeah, could you control that? I mean, I understand that people don't want to
No,
just throw away money and stuff, but you said it was therapeutic.
it was.
So I
So it's
mean,
kind of messed up for it to just. I
but
mean, the thing is, in gardening, you
mhm,
have to. It's hard to, like. Well, I wouldn't say it's hard, but
mhm,
it's like just as humans, period, it's hard for us to just face the negative things that just come out of nowhere.
yeah,
Like we get prepared to accept the positive. But I think in gardening, you also learn to learn from the negative and use it to your benefit.
we'll do that. Use that.
Anyway, it just takes time. It
Mm.
takes time.
It
I
does. It
just
does.
looked out the window. It's gonna take time.
Mm.
It gotta set in.
Okay.
Anyway, so today's topic is:
Is
does age define maturity?
interesting.
Yes. So what
Yes, yes,
that
as
is
in your aunt.
interesting.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
interesting. So
So.
what encouraged this topic was someone that mentioned to me, when you get older, you'll understand. Or when you get to a certain age, you know, you will just be completely different.
Haven't we all heard
Which
that? You know.
it just really grinds my gears. And it's like, it's not that I feel like I'm lacking something because of the age I'm at. Because I know when I was younger, I would feel that way. I would be like, oh my goodness, they don't see me a certain way because I'm this age.
hmm
But I think why it really affects me because of the fact that it's not factual, and that we have experienced this as people. We experience this daily, that is not factual, but yet some people still define it as factual to them personally.
Yeah.
I think it's more of the fact that they are so used to hearing it themselves. So when they get older, then they start saying it, Like
Yeah.
we watch this in a political world too.
Yeah.
They are all 70 and up.
Yeah.
And
Well, more
pretty
like
much
60,
majority of them
60,
are, and
55 and up. Yeah.
do we see maturity from them?
No, we don't.
Exactly.
We sure don't. I mean, we see the most, basically the biggest children, when you look at political stuff,
Yes.
anything involving political activities, and you just, I don't know, you just see adult sized children, you know? That's
Yes.
Go.
So we took the liberty into actually looking up the definition of what maturity actually is
Mm-hmm.
for all the people who just think they know what maturity is. Here's the real definition.
All right. Maturity is having and understanding your identity, being self aware, and being able to control your emotions appropriately. And we search up another definition is being responsible for your actions, being sensitive and considerate towards others, and having the ability to change and adapt to circumstances. And the third definition we also found was a level of mental development or wisdom that has a bearing on all areas of an individual's life, right from their conduct to their relationship with others. Sounds very, very, what you call it, informative.
Adequate.
I was gonna say adequate, but I was gonna say sound very, very, what you call it? I don't know. It wasn't gonna be adequate though.
Okay. So, what pops out to me in this definition is self awareness, because I think that is, it covers such a huge aspect of that definition.
Mm,
And it's hard for someone to actually become self aware of themselves. There's this big question that everyone asks, and it starts when you're a teenager, is when you're like, who am I?
mm-hmm.
Who am I? And I've always been like, it's not that big of a deal. Like it's not that difficult of a question or an answer. I'm like, come on. What do you like? What do you not like? Who do you like to surround yourself with? Who do you want to be? That right there is actually the most difficult thing out of this question. Who do you want to be in life? But it doesn't have to be one answer. And that's what a lot of people get stuck on, because they think that it has to be a specific answer. And it does not have to be the same throughout the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You can change. You can wake up when you turn 30 and be like, you know what? I don't like how I was the last 10 years, I'm actually going to change.
I'm gonna change that.
So from this day forward, I will no longer be that person. And that's your business. If that's what you want to do, that's your business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you wake up the next day, be like, you know what? I think there was nothing wrong with how I was. I'm going back. That's your business. I think that we put too much emphasis on who we are, and it just makes it too confusing. Like it shouldn't be that confusing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So back to the definition of self-awareness. I actually looked it up myself, and the actual definition is conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. So, for a person to be self-aware is not just knowing who you are or how you are to people, but are you aware when you're wrong? Do you know how to admit when you're wrong? Do you know how to change when you are wrong or seek help when you need it? Now, a lot of people, 20 all the way to 80, can't do that. So you can't just say, when you become this age,
Yeah.
then you're going to automatically get this, because
yeah.
it's not true at all. So what are your thoughts on those definitions?
Well, what I took from the definitions, which stand out the most to me was, being responsible for your actions and being able to control your emotions appropriately. So I feel like that's where a lot of people, and I mean, we're talking about a lot of people, even ages like 40 and up, who are not responsible for their actions, always want to put the, it's crazy, want to put the blame on, let me finish that, put the blame on other people. And I was going to say, it's crazy because I was watching a video the other day and I saw these young, there's two girls, it's two girls on this video and they was dancing to some vulgar music and they was doing things they wasn't supposed to and it was inappropriate or whatever. And the first comment I saw on there, because I always go to the comment for someone that I'm like, I know someone, it's like, I know it was gonna be negative. I expected it to be negative because they shouldn't have been doing what they was doing. And the first comment I saw was, "Who do we blame?" I'm like, why do someone always want to put the blame on
Mm-hmm.
someone else? I mean, I understand they're children; they're supposed to have parents or guardians over them, telling them what to do. But I've noticed that any video you go to or anything that's happening, someone always wants to put the blame on someone else, even if it's someone doing the like someone could be out there cursing and everything or terrorizing people and want to put the blame on, oh, it was because of this and it was because uh, I didn't feel too well. I'm not like, dude, like, or they want to be like, oh, it's because he called me this or he disrespected me. Like, when are we gonna grow up? Like, seriously,
Yeah.
like, grow up and take responsibility for what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
You did that to that person. You know it wasn't right. Just apologize and move on. Just suck it up instead of being a narcissist and it was your fault. I mean, come on, like,
Yeah.
seriously, grow up. And we see a lot of people like it has nothing to do with them being in their 20s, not being mature. Is we got to stop that and realize that a lot of grown people who supposed to be grown be doing this foolishness. And it's stupid. Now you have a lot of grown folks who cannot control their emotions as well. We like, for example, road rages nowadays. Someone cut you off. I understand that. Hey, yeah, I mean, I don't like it either. No one likes that someone cut you off. But just drive on, move on. Don't chase down the person and then want to flip them off and then want to. And nowadays, people shooting at you.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, dude, it's not that serious. Like, it's a whole. I mean, yeah, it almost caused an accident, almost caused one, but it didn't happen. Move on. Like, it's not that serious. It really
Mm-hmm.
ain't. And
It's not.
is if people make a big deal out of the little things and then have the audacity to turn around and tell someone, oh, you ain't mature yet, you ain't know nothing about this,
Yes.
wait till you grow up and I'm like, you don't have you don't have no rights to be telling me what it is to be mature
Mm-hmm.
or wait till I grow up to experience or to do something or to know something. Like, you are the biggest child I've ever seen. Just be quiet, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Now we're
seriously.
we're not saying that we don't listen to anyone that's older
Yeah,
than us,
we're
because
not.
there are people that we do listen to,
Yeah,
but they have to have learned from their mistakes.
yeah, and like, you have to honestly make sense with it. I mean,
Yeah.
you like I said, you just can't turn around. I mean, do all of that stuff. I no one is perfect, and I get it. Now, I'm not expecting someone to be. I'm not expecting a perfect mentor, obviously. But like what she said, I mean, you can't be doing these things over and over and over, not learning from your mistakes and trying to be the victim of certain things, trying to be a narcissist and trying to tell me what to do. It
Yeah.
just don't make sense. And it will
Yeah.
never make sense. But
It won't.
yeah, that's my take on that.
Mm, that's pretty
But
good.
yeah.
So yeah, I had a topic. The We spoke on the topic of whether or not you can have friends of the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
And some people took from that we were just young, and that's the reason why we spoke on something like that, because obviously we are young and we just are so insecure when it comes to being around the opposite sex,
Yeah.
which is crazy
It's
because I
kind of
never
crazy. Yeah.
said anything about us just being around the opposite sex. I said being friends with the person, and it depends on what you define as friends, because some people, as soon as you say hey to someone and they're really nice to you, they're like, oh, they're my friend. I don't consider that as friends. I
Yeah.
consider someone that you can just call in the middle of the night, or say, hey, let's go to a movies, let's go to
Yeah.
a restaurant,
Someone you could trust, someone
yeah.
trustworthy, and someone
Mhm.
also positive influence on your life.
Yeah.
You don't want someone who always leading you to negativity or who always has something negative to say or always talk down on you. I mean, why would you call that a friend?
Yeah.
I mean, you could have known this person for years, but as long as I mean, if that person continues to do that, why? I mean, to me, it just don't make sense. Why would you call that person a friend?
Mhm.
But yeah, to each his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just give a few characteristics on what we define as a man and a woman, like a mature man and a
Uh,
mature woman. So, because there are so many people who are like, I know after this video come out, they're gonna be like, you expect me to look at you and think that you can tell me what a
yeah.
woman is?
So, like I was
So,
telling her before this, I was like, I'm not. I feel like not because of my age, obviously, because I mean, I'm 26, and I'm pretty sure I'm more mature than some old 46-year-old can be. But I feel like my experience in being a man has not, it's never going to end, but I feel like I have so much more to learn. And I feel like when you get married and what as well, you learn a lot more as well. When you have kids, I feel like you grow so much from it.
mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying everybody does, but I did. And I'm still growing from it. And I'm still learning from it. I've
Yeah.
made so many errors, so many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am like you said, if you don't learn from it, how can you
Yeah.
give anybody advice? I'm not giving anybody advice. I'm giving it people my opinion of what I think of mine is.
Mm-hmm. And
And
obviously, it's going to change over time. Like,
yeah. Well, I don't think this answer what I'm going to say first is,
yeah.
but I feel like in order to truly understand who a man is or how to become one, first of all, you need to build a relationship with God. And I feel like you need to follow Jesus as as follow Jesus as much as not as much as you can, but try to follow Jesus. That's what I'm gonna say. Because or try to follow Jesus's ways. Because when you read
Mm-hmm.
in the Bible, the way he lived his life, the life he lived was so perfect, and that's why I say try to, because we can't live a perfect life. We gotta make mistakes, and that's who we are. But we could try to come as close as possible, and we could try this every day. We could try to when I say come as when I say follow Jesus, I mean like how in order to be a man, you have to have love for one another. You have to be humble, and you have to take the leadership role. And when I say leadership role, I'm not talking about being controlling or anything. I'm just talking about like leading, like if you're a family, leading your family or the person to step up and take control of the situation. Depends on what the situation is.
That right there is something that will show you who who a man is too. Whether
Mm-hmm.
your mindset, when you hear leadership,
Yeah.
how do you define that? If you're like, you do what I say, is that
Yeah.
your definition of leadership?
It's
Then you're not
definitely
a
not.
man.
Yeah, you're not. You're really not. But is that person who, and a lot of it, and that's what everybody expects a man to do. Take charge. And everything. And when I was looking at this. I forget where I saw it from, but I was looking at this thing the other day, and it was like the wife looks to the man as a leader. And who does the man looks to? And the man looks to God. The man's supposed to look to God. Like whenever the family need answers, meaning like the kids, the wife need answers, they go to the husband. Whenever the husband don't have the answers, the husband's supposed to go to God, and that's where he's supposed to get all of his answers from. And that's who we look for as a leader, or that's where we get our leadership from. Should get our leadership skills from, because we can't do it on our own.
Man,
But yeah, what is
I don't even know what to
what
say
is
no
your
more.
yeah? Well, then again, man and woman have different roles.
Yeah,
We're not talking about no house chores. We're not talking about
yeah.
no you go get a job, you prepare the bills. We're talking about like family needs
Mm-hmm.
more, and like not even. I mean, some men are not married or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
when you think about that situation, I mean, still a man. You look at the role of a man as a person who, like I said, has love everyone. We and this still plays. This still this is still in the area of being mature and everything. A man is a person who practice being humble. who practice controlling his emotions and everything. And a lot of people expect a man to what you call it what you call it when you conceal, I guess, conceal his emotions. Yeah, a lot of people expect a man to conceal his emotions, press it down, not let it out. They suppose not cry or anything, and that's not what a man do. I mean, it's not what we're supposed to do. I mean, we're humans as well.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
and if you want to let that out, you don't just let it out on anyone. You don't just go telling anyone your problems or anything. That's why you have a trustworthy person or your wife who's supposed to be trustworthy to you, someone you can go to and let it out. You tell her, hey, what's going on. You spill your emotions with your wife and everything. You don't be hard like a stone. I mean, that's not how you're supposed to live.
And that's not a man either. Like
Exactly,
some
it's
people
not.
are like if you're able to open up to your wife, other people would be like, "Oh, you're not a man. You talking to your wife like that."
it's,
That
it's crazy,
for someone to say that they don't know what a man is themselves.
and they don't. I mean, it helps build each other up.
Hmm.
And if you have someone, if you're with someone who can't handle that type of stuff, if they want to throw it at you and use it against you, then that's not the person you should have been with.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
What is your definition, or how do you portray how a woman? How do you ask me that question? Who a woman is? Yeah,
A mature woman.
a mature woman.
I think that a mature woman is someone who not only knows themselves,
Hmm.
but is able to be completely selfless when it comes to nurturing other people. And when they're able to look at another woman who is happy or accomplishing something and does not turn it back onto themselves or try to say something negative to build themselves up.
Yeah,
If
be
you're
jealous.
able, yeah, if you're able to completely be happy for this person and look at another woman and don't see competition, I think that is a level of maturity, and
Hmm.
that right there is what a lot of women don't embody. They look at someone younger and they have some negative to say. They're like, "Oh, you don't know nothing. You're young," or
Yeah.
or they look at someone who has more accomplishments and they're like, "Look at them," but they don't have a kid though. I got a kid. Look at what they don't got a kid.
Oh,
Like, always got some
or
negative to
someone.
say,
Yeah.
And I didn't really experience that type of womanhood until I moved here, actually. If you could believe that. Like being surrounded by a different group of people and seeing how happy they are for other women,
Hmm.
like it doesn't matter what it is. They're just like, wow, like I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
You are just doing it out here, like all, and that's what I'm trying to put into my kids. If they are starting, I'm saying a lot, but if they, anytime I hear them say something negative about each other or someone else, I always nip that in the bud just like that, because we don't
No,
do that over
we're
here.
not gonna tolerate it. Yeah.
We don't do that over here, honey. No. Like, someone else's downfall is not going to lift you up.
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't really truly believe that themselves. They feel like if someone else is doing bad, it makes them feel better.
Yeah.
And if
Yes.
that if that is true for you, then I'm sorry that is
You
true
feel.
for
Yeah.
you.
You feel that way.
And
Yeah.
you need to do a lot of self work.
Mm.
Like, look deep down in yourself and figure out why. Why
Yeah.
do you feel like someone else's downfall makes you feel better? Why is that?
Yeah. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, like, so that is my definition. It could be for men too, I suppose. That if another man looks at someone else, another man, if a man looks at another man, and they
Down.
see,
Or look at that downfall and be like happy about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I was gonna say one more thing. You know, growing up, you hear, oh, you gotta toughen up your kid for this world, you know, hard. You gotta basically harden their hearts so that the world won't be able to hurt them or whatever. And you know, hearing that a lot. And I don't know if you told me this before.
Yeah, I told you about
Told
that.
me about well, why do everybody talk about you got to toughen up your kid? You got
Hmm.
to do that. Why must we blend with the world?
Yeah,
Why can't we
change the world.
continue doing what we're doing? Raise our kids to be the kids who we the best kids they can possibly be, and let them be that light that changed the world. You know, because while we're talking about building up their kids because they're gonna experience out there too. So don't let the world hurt them. You need to build them up so that their skin so they can be tough. Like we need to stop that because the more we say that, and then we're making it more difficult for the world to even be changed anyway.
Mhm.
And of course, there are parents out there still doing the best they can, encouraging their kids to be the light that the brightest light they can be. But why do we have this idea that we need to do that?
Yeah,
Toughen them, push them out to the wolves. Like stop, like because if
it's not
we
helping
it
anything.
that's what I'm trying. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
can't put
know
the
you
words.
was
Let
getting
me let
there.
the because I'm not good with words. As you can see, I struggle saying certain
Well,
words because when it comes to my, you want to say
you
this on this?
no, you
Okay.
are perfectly fine. I know your heart. God
Anyway,
knows your heart.
yeah, but they need to know it
Yeah.
too. I'm just talking to them right now. But yeah, my the thing I'm trying to say is that let's stop trying to follow the world and leading the world into hate and hard, cold,
Yes.
or cold-hearted, and we need to continue enlightening our kids, putting positivity inside them, so that they can be the light that change the world. It is possible to change the world. I mean, well, it is still possible to change the world.
It's possible. Yeah, I believe it's possible to add to the positivity. There are a lot of positive people in the world, and it's so easy to focus on the negative.
Yeah, it is.
So we choose to be the light. We choose to add to that light, you know? And another thing that God has been speaking to me about when I'm reading my Bible and, getting closer to Him, He has been pointing out unconditional love. And I'm able to see that term differently now. I've heard people say it plenty of times. I'm sure every one of y'all have heard it. But unconditional love is being able to give grace to people.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Like look at people as the humans that they are.
Mm-hmm.
When a lot it's easy for us as humans to define someone by the last actions that we experience when we encountered them, you know?
Yeah. We're not saying someone trying to break your leg all your
Yeah.
life and you be like, I forgive you, and then still stay around them and
Yeah.
hang around them. Like, that's just stupidity at its finest. If some, like, give them grace. Like, for example, someone hurts you, forgive them, move on. And if that person intends to be negative, keep them out of your life.
Yeah.
You don't need to be around negativity. And
Have
that's,
boundaries.
yeah, exactly. Watch who you surround yourself by. If you know they are nothing but negative, forgive and move on.
Hmm.
Move away. Don't
Yeah.
stay around. Don't stick around because you know nothing good comes after dark. They say,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I guess that's how it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the point we're trying to make. Be smart with it. You
Yeah.
know.
So if people are like continuing to do you wrong or they're trying to be negative when you are like happy about something or whatever the case may be, if someone comes up to you, and in this situation we're talking about this age defined maturity, if someone older comes to you and tries to diminish your maturity because of your age, you know what, just give them grace. You know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you know who you are because I just told you, you know who you are.
Stop.
Just like,
Stop.
okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah,
You know who you are, okay?
yes, you know.
So let's just give grace to these people
Yep.
and move on with our life.
Mm-hmm.
Life goes on, and they don't necessarily have to be in it. They don't necessarily have to be a part of it.
Not at all.
You know,
Yeah.
you
But
come into this world alone, and you leave this world alone.
that's
So you need to figure out how to be happy with yourself and stop assuming that you need to be surrounded by a group of people who like you to be happy. So, anyway, I
see
guess
you next
that
time.
concludes our episode. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe.
All
And
right.
what else?
And
Like, no, it's
oh,
like, share, and subscribe, or
yeah,
like, subscribe, and share.
the same
Like,
thing.
shy, blah, blah, whatever.
Anyway.
Sorry. See you
And
next time on Keep It
right.
Real.